Manny is just kind of wandering around in the background. I tried to swatch some things already and he's just like sniffing around and licking my hands. This is gonna be difficult. Hi guys, today's video is super exciting because it is the brand new makeup range from Primark. It's their Pro Beauty range. I'm having to refilm this intro because initially I had Manny in the room with me and he was very kind of like snort, 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 snort. If you have a pug, you'll know. Hashtag pug problems. And when I actually went to listen to it back in editing, it was just like practically unbearable. So you may hear a little bit of that still in the first few clips, but then Lee came home and he's taking him out for a walk. So this is the new Pro Primark Beauty range. It's gonna be out next month. I just received it. Super excited, and I wanted to film this video. I look slightly disheveled because I've been at work all day and I wasn't kind of prepped to film, but I really wanted to get this swatched and out for you as soon as possible. One thing I do know that I forgot to mention in the beginning was the secondary packaging. This is how you're going to see it in stores. Everything was packaged really beautifully. I mean, this is the concealer palette and I think that's really, really nice. This is kind of the outer packaging before you actually open up the products, and this was one of the primer boxes. But I opened everything because for once in my life I had actually prepped a little bit for a video and I didn't want to ruin my nails. I hope you enjoy this. I hope it's useful and informative, slightly less rambly than normal, maybe not. And if you are finding this because you were searching for more information about Primark Beauty, please don't forget to check out my links below, subscribe while you're here, and yeah, stick around and I'll see you in a moment with different lipstick. PS Pro focuses on the prep and perfect stages of makeup routine with products designed to enhance both phases, premium ingredients, superior formulations, and delivering long-lasting professional finishes. And it's supposed to be a more high-quality, advanced, and technical range aimed at those of us that are wanting to take our makeup routine to the next level. We shall see. I have, first of all, I've separated everything out in a completely non-me fashion. Into categories. I've actually done a little bit of prep for this video. I've got 5 foundations. Now, if this is all of them, if this is a real genuine indication of what they're gonna have, it's not the best shade range in the world, definitely could be deeper, but still very, very inexpensive. Let me just double check the price for you on that. Is £5. Pro Longwear Mineralized Foundation is £5. Now, I've just swatched this, the very, very palest one, Porcelain, on my hand. I think the coverage is kind of medium. It's definitely buildable. It feels, I can feel it on my skin. I'm not sure how heavy it's going to be. I will definitely do some kind of get ready with me's and follow up proper reviews where I actually show you the products in action, but I'm just going to swatch everything today. But I quite like this foundation. It feels quite nice, and as I was applying it, it felt, I don't know, it didn't feel cheap. But again, I need to test it on my actual face to really tell you whether it's any good. There are 3 primers. I think these are all £5. It's Mattifying, Illuminating, and is there another one? Illuminating, Mattifying, and Miracle. So these are the 3 primers. I really like the packaging. So like a matte white, a matte-ish or satin black, and then this one being illuminating is all kind of illuminated. I really like that. This is the Radiance primer, which as you can see has got a little bit of something to it. Let's call it Radiance. This one is kind of like a pore kind of primer. It's something that's going to, I would totally mix those in together. It's going to kind of smooth everything out. And then the other one is the mattifying one, if I try to separate that slightly, which is more kind of a gel. This is the one that I probably would lean more towards. I quite like the texture of that one. Then there are 2 different kinds of concealer. There's the Longwear CC concealer, which corrects redness, and it looks like that. Quite green. I don't really do colour correcting stuff, but that is really quite bold. I'm gonna have to blend that out a little and see what it actually looks like. See whether or not you can blend it out, because that's kind of insane to me. It is really quite green. Is that a thing? Like, does this really help counteract redness? Such a green tint, I don't know. But that's £2.50, and then there's also this palette, which I think looks quite swish, and this one's £5. This is where we get kind of the higher end of the spectrum. We've got a green in here, a yellow, then 3 regular skin tones. Again, this is only one colour of this, I believe. It just says concealer palette. It doesn't even look like there would be the potential for this to get any deeper to accommodate different skin tones. So that is that swatched there. The 2 corrector colours, the like yellow and the green, are really quite dry, and the concealer ones are a little bit more greasy. It's an odd texture, but I would definitely say that if you can't find your colour or your shade in the foundation, then that concealer palette potentially not going to be any good for you for concealing, but maybe for highlighting or correcting. Last thing that we've got in the base is the PS Pro Longwear Finishing Powder. I quite like the look of this packaging, but it's very, very plasticky feeling. And this is one of the higher end of the price one of the items at the higher end of the price spectrum. It is £5 and it looks like this on the inside. It's kind of just like a loose finishing powder, which I'm sure is absolutely lovely, and I know that people don't like it necessarily when I get hung up on the packaging, but I think we can all agree that this is something that we take into consideration. Obviously, if it's an absolute amazing holy grail product, then we don't care. But initial first thoughts, it is something that we're looking at. Aesthetics, that's what this is all about. We're looking at it to make us more aesthetically pleasing, and so the aesthetics of that beauty product are still important, and they do appeal or not appeal for the same reasons that we're buying them. So if you look at this bottle, which is in a nice glass bottle, and it feels a little bit, you know, more expensive. I think this £5, it feels really, really nice. And this, by comparison, is very, very plasticky. Moving swiftly on to lips, because I'm kind of desperate to change what I have on my lips right now, and so I'm going to try something else on. I actually tried this first of all, because one of the things that most interested me about this range were the waterproof pens. They have eyeliners, eyebrow pencils, and lip pens. This was a thing a while ago. I don't know if you guys can remember, but it was like lip stains and lip pens rather than crayons was a bit of a trend about 4 or 5 years ago. And you don't see so much about it these days, but in theory, done well, it's a very, very cool concept and a really nice idea. But done well is the optimum word or the optimum phrase, and it's not very often that it is. And I would say that this one is one of those ones that's potentially not. I am wearing the Longwear lip liner pen in Midnight Crimson. I chose the darker colour thinking it was kind of, you know, I know it's spring, but it's freaking cold here in England. And you see there's not super dark. On my lips it's super dark, and it's kind of, you can see, it doesn't look so great. Initially I put it on and I was like, wow, this is really nice. And I did my bottom lip, and then the top lip, it kind of ran out of juice and it didn't really have anything left. So it took me quite a long time to try and get the rest of my lips filled in. Not ideal. And I would say this is, I don't know if it's just this one particular one. It's the only one I've swatched. This color is Provocative Pink, and you can kind of see it's very, very bold and then kind of runs out a little bit. I don't know if this is just, you're gonna need to store them this way up to make sure that all of the ink is in the nib before you use them. This is gonna need a little bit more trial for me to say yay or nay. This one's called Ultimate Nude. Ooh, that one was a lot glossier, a lot wetter. And they are the colors. I know I'm doing this real generic, like, oh, look at these swatches, but I'm having a real hard time with my focus today. I don't know. I don't know about these yet. My first impressions aren't good, but we'll see. They are £3, as are the new glosses, and these are Ultra Shine lip glosses. This one is Supermodel Nude. This is bright pink. I like it. Oh, I kind of like that. And it's much more opaque than I expected it to be. So that's Supermodel Nude. This is a real nude. What's this one going to be called? Bombshell Pink. Okay, I don't really know what's going on here. The red one doesn't have a name on the bottom of it, so I don't know what the color is, but assuming there are only 3 colors, this is the red one. This is supposedly called Bombshell Pink, and this one is Supermodel Nude. I feel like maybe they're mixed up, but they are the 3 lip glosses. Slightly sticky, which is kind of why I don't love lip glosses in the first place. I don't hate the formula of those. They feel quite nice. Then we have 5 lipsticks, also £3 each, and I think this is where I'm gonna find a relatively okay version of what I'm wearing on my lips right now to go over and not feel so dry and also not entirely well covered. So I'm going to start with the first lipstick because this is the one that's going to match, I think, and it is Midnight Crimson, same colour. Okay, so maybe it is supposed to match. Oh, okay. Maybe are you supposed to put this one on first and then you put on the other one? Let me see. I have some steps here. Yes, it says Pro Lips in 5 steps, and it gives some indications of kind of how to use each product. PS Pro Longwear Lip Liner, water resistant, smudge proof. Okay, I kind of got the idea that maybe I was supposed to fill in my entire lips with it, but maybe I'm not. Maybe it's just a lip liner. Although I would fill my lips in with any lip liner, so I don't know. So stay put all day, does not feather, bleed, or transfer. I would say the one that I used hasn't bled at all on my hand, but the other 2 have feathered. Specially designed tip smooths over the contours of the lips for seamless line, can be used to reshape, resize, and balance. Now, that would explain a lot as to why it doesn't seem particularly bold for a felt tip. If you are looking to kind of resize your lips, you don't want anything really, really harsh line. So maybe that's it, maybe that's it. We will revisit this in a proper review. And then it says PS Pro Rich Colour Lipstick that you would put over the top, in theory. Non-drying formula glides on smoothly for an even application of colour, while vitamin E hydrates and nourishes lips, which is what I really feel like I need right now. Okay, that's really, really super dark. Like, really, really dark. It's cold and rainy here, but I still feel like this might be a little bit of overkill for April. But hey, this is Midnight Crimson, so we'll swatch them as we go along anyway. I really, really like the formula of this. I didn't expect much, I have to be honest. This again is £3. I don't know if I mentioned that already. This one's Iconic Nude. I didn't expect much. It's not super expensive, and Primark lipsticks in the past that I've tried have been very hit and miss. Some have been really nice. They've had some really gorgeous colours, some beautiful nudes that I've liked, but the formula that I'm looking for, it has been kind of not so great. This one is Provocative Pink. But this is very nice. The one that I've tried on my lips so far, very nice. Hollywood Red, and all really quite opaque. And then Boudoir Pink, which, oh yes, is totally up my street. Yes, yes, yes. This I would wear a lot. This, and whatever we're deciding this one's called, I'm gonna say this is called Supermodel Nude. I'm just gonna guess it. Definitely a nice combination of colours there that I think are meant to be worn together, or at least complement each other. I took the lip off because I thought I would try something different, and in case anyone wanted to know, this is what it left me with. Slight stain, not particularly attractive, but again, this is all assuming that you're supposed to wear it like this, and it's not just supposed to be a lip liner. I went with the Boudoir Pink, of course. So moving on to the other lip products, these are kind of lip prep items. We've got a scrub, which is £3, a lip primer, which is also £3, and the Universal Lip Liner, which is £2, I believe. One thing I just realized I never went through with the lipsticks was this is how they open, and you know I'm a sucker for this kind of thing, anything a little bit funky, and you push them in and they open like that. I love it, but this keeps happening. It's supposed to push it in and then it stays in, but it's a little bit temperamental. And a couple of them within the packaging had already come undone when I received them. So whether or not they're gonna just kind of open up in your bag, that's kind of something to think about. But I do really like the idea of that. So this one is just basically like a lip balm. It's just something that is not going to have any kind of colour to it, and in theory is going to prep your lips. It is just basically a lip balm, isn't it? Then there is the scrub, which I think looks super cool. It really goes with the Art Deco logo and the whole kind of branding for it. Oh, what is that smell? I think it's just sugar, but something kind of hit me a little bit alcoholic-y then. Maybe that's just me. Oh, I don't know what that smell is. Oh, it says, hang on, does it say here? Vitamin E and almond oil. There's something else to that. That smells like sherry or something to me, I don't know. I should maybe have tried this when I took off my, the lip stuff, but it is just like a scrubby, it's a scrubby scrub. I don't know whether or not you can see the scrubby scrub, but it's there. There it is, being a scrubby scrub. It's not a smell I don't like. I just can't quite place it, and I don't think it's just almond. I don't know what that is. And then the Universal Lip Liner is kind of much like the primer in that it's just an invisible situation. It's supposed to be something that creates a barrier so you can kind of see / not see that around your lips. So if you could overdraw your lips in theory and use something that may bleed, and it should stop it from bleeding. So on the home stretch, it is eyes, and these are eyebrow pencils, but they're pens. Eyebrow pens. The same kind of idea as with the lips. These are supposed to be waterproof, smudge resistant, all that stuff. Or smudge resistant, I don't know, smudge proof, water resistant, whatever. I really, really like the idea of these. I think if your hair is brunette or your brows are brunette, you'll probably like these. I swatched them here and you can see that there's an odd angle to the pen actually, and they've got, in theory, you can give like a thick or a thin line depending on what you want to do. And I've shown you, or tried to show you here, the differences that you can get by twisting the pen. I don't think you can get a particularly fine line from what I could gather. It doesn't seem to be all that, but it is still a felt tip. You're not going to get the world's most natural looking brow using a felt tip. It is like a firm felt tip nib rather than a very, very thin, flexible one. But I quite like the colours. The only problem that I would have is that that is definitely not any good for blondes at all. This is more kind of like mid brunette to dark brunette. If you are blonde, this is going to be too dark, too red. I've got something here that could be one of multiple things. It's called the Miracle Pencil. It contours lips, brightens eyes, and conceals. It is basically just a concealer pencil. If I open it up for you to actually see what it looks like, it is just a concealer pencil. That's all it is. I don't even know why I'm swatching it, because you know what that's gonna look like. Concealer pencil. But it says it can contour the lips. I get that it could brighten the eyes. You could use it in your waterline. You could use it in the corner of your eyes and brighten things up a little bit. Although you could use concealer for that because it's not really anything more than that. But the contour lips thing is quite an interesting thing. I could potentially use it underneath my brow to get a better arch. And then I can totally see being able to work with a lip liner and try to contour your lips with a very, very fine concealer. Never thought of it like that before, but a very interesting idea that really is a very, very basic product, but they've kind of packaged it as this, ooh, miracle product. Very clever. Then we've got a graphic liner, that's £3, as are the last two items. A graphic liner, which isn't going to be for me, I know for sure. It looks like a permanent marker. No. Way, way, way too thick for it to be anything that I would want to wear. Again, it's got the same deal as the, I mean, that's the thin side of the graphic liner. And let me show you the thick side. There we go. I'm not sure I would wear either of those lines on my eyes. The last thing is the High Definition Mascara Ultra Volume and Lift, also £3. And this is something that I might actually like because it has got the kind of brush that I'm really into. That kind of very, very fine rubbery bristled wand. Really like that kind of thing. So we shall see, but very difficult to give a first impressions of a mascara without actually using it. So that is it. I think that's pretty much everything in the range. I'm pretty impressed. The lip products especially, I'm really interested in getting into. And I will swatch absolutely everything for a blog post very, very soon. If you want anything specific elaborating on in another video, I will definitely do a get ready with me next week and show you the products that I've been enjoying most in action, as well as perhaps a follow-up review with some kind of hits and misses from the range when I've really given everything a good road test. But if you want anything specific sooner rather than later, then let me know and I'll try and accommodate that. I'll also list everything along with prices, so hopefully that will be useful since it's not, I don't believe, online yet. And yeah, any questions, I will try to answer them. And otherwise, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!